7,500 lots of Hippocat futures.
The Hippocat root is very versatile. It's used in certain medicines, diffractive optics, and even some beauty supplies. Here, feel how smooth my head is. Cream of Hippocat. I apply it twice a day. You see, a diversified financial portfolio can mean greater profits and healthier looking skin.
Fascinating. I'd love to hear more, but if your son doesn't show up soon, I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you.
Welcome, everybody, to Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast. My name is Mike. I am one of your hosts, and with me, live in person, is Johnson.
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well today, as you know, because we've been hanging out for a few hours.
We have.
Yeah, still alive, still breathing.
We've been doing some vacation recording, because I am going away for a couple of weeks, and...
Well, by the time that we release this one, will you be back, or?
I'm coming back. So this episode will drop on Friday, the 28th?
I don't know. It's the end of July, basically.
Oh, no, not the 28th. The 30th. Friday the 30th.
Oh, wow.
So this will drop Friday the 30th, and I think our flight back is on the 31st.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So,
oh, my
yeah,
gosh. And then July is over.
Then July is over, but I will have spent the last half of July completely on vacation. Super excited about that.
Wow, look at you. So lucky.
Flying back from Napa.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's, the big question right now is Dennis and I both love wine, and we're going to Napa for 7 days, and... We're going to have to be very discerning about how much wine we buy, if any, because it's a lot to ship
Did
back.
you guys do this before? You, went somewhere and then went to some vineyards and then you bought back, a few cases or something?
Yeah. No, every time we go away, anytime we go to upstate New York, to the Finger Lakes, we always come back with lots of wine.
That's gonna be a pain to bring back, though.
Yeah, obviously, when you're flying, I think we'll have a different challenge of figuring out, we have to be more cognizant of what we're bringing back. Because whatever we bring back, has to be...
Can they ship it for you, maybe? They might be able to ship it for you.
Yeah, but then you have to buy a certain amount from one vineyard, right?
Right.
So that's the problem. So, whereas, usually when we go, we buy 2 or 3 bottles from each vineyard, and then by the end you have 1 to 2 cases of wine. So it'll be interesting how we're going to figure this out, but yeah, I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to obviously do some wine tastings in Napa and have a good time. We're in a remote, I would say, well, this is Dennis's version of remote, farmhouse Airbnb situation.
Okay.
So, and it has a great sunset view.
Okay.
So...
are there animals?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I'm sure there are animals around, probably. I don't know. I've never
farmhouse, I'm are there, goats around?
Maybe. I mean, I've never been to further north.
Is a rooster going to wake you up?
What's that?
Is a rooster going to wake you up?
Oh, I hope not.
That'd be annoying.
That would be very annoying. Because sleep is definitely, and rest is definitely on the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So that's where we'll be. We'll be flying back the next day after this episode drops, and then vacation will be over. Well, this vacation will be over, and then we'll be less than 2 weeks away from
oh my God.
Star Trek Las Vegas / the 55-year mission.
It's like we're getting a glimpse into the future.
We are.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, and also we'll be less than 2 weeks away from Lower Decks premiering.
Oh, right. Yeah, Lourdes is going to premiere while we're in Vegas.
Yeah. And so obviously I think we'll figure out a way to watch it while we're there.
I feel that they're going to have, I mentioned this to you, but I feel that they're going to have a viewing party. They have to.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be cool
to
kind of watch it with other people in a large group. I've never done that before.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if we'll get more than one episode to watch.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But it's not sponsored by CBS, so highly unlikely.
Yeah, it's not a CBS event.
But so that's coming up. And then I imagine possibly by this time, although it won't be on our podcast, it'll be on the next podcast maybe, there might be some news about what comes after Lower Decks.
Well, I would imagine that it's probably Prodigy.
I mean, so last year it was Discovery. Remember we did 23 weeks of Star Trek? It was Lower Decks and then Discovery.
That's true.
I think Discovery is further along in production than Strange New Worlds, although we got that.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be first Prodigy or Discovery.
So we know that Picard isn't going to be until 2022.
For sure, yeah.
But we don't know what the other shows are going to be like.
Yeah, TBD.
But lots of new Star Trek coming soon. Hopefully they'll just continue, do it weekly, be able to schedule it and get it all done so that it will premiere weekly.
Yeah.
Although, I feel like Prodigy would be a good break in between, a live action show and an animated to lead with 2 animated shows and then go into 20.
Did they say Prodigy will also be 2021?
I don't know. I don't know if they actually mentioned that or not.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But we're coming up on some new Star Trek, and we're getting close to wrapping up our underappreciated episodes of Deep Space Nine. And this week we're going to talk about the Magnificent Ferengi.
Yeah, from season 6.
From season 6, which you chose again, mainly because I didn't have the bandwidth to choose one.
I was like, "What episodes do you want to choose?"
But this was a good choice. But before we get into that, we're going to do a quick question to kind of get the discussion going.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we didn't ask the question yet.
Yeah, we haven't asked the question. So here's this week's question. What is your favorite theme music from Star Trek?
So I'll go first, since you have multiple.
I do have multiple answers.
I was just trying to keep it simple.
Which you're upset about.
I was just trying to keep it simple. You always have multi-factor. It's like multi-factor authentication, but not. It's like multi-factor responses to these questions.
Yeah.
So I think one of my favorite pieces of theme music is probably the JJ Star Trek. Music.
Wow, I did not think of that.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that that's your choice.
I think it's a very yes. I think it's it's a very strong piece of theme music. It is very it's very heroic. And
Michael Giacchino is very talented,
and he's great. And
he's sort of the modern day Jerry Goldsmith.
Mm-hmm. I also liked. I liked honestly the music for all 3, but all 3 of the JJ movies, the couple movies.
The first one is by far the best.
I would say so. Yeah. And I think that the reboot Star Trek theme song is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. I did not even consider. I mean, you did just technically watch this yesterday, so
I did. It's true.
Sort of fresh on your mind.
It's true. I did just rewatch JJ Star Trek yesterday, but I do think that I remember being in the movie theater when I first watched it, and I was kind of I really like the theme music a lot. Going from they do a really good job weaving it into. When you first watch a movie, they have the production companies, and even they weave the music even when they're entering the production companies, and then into the teaser, which was the Narada and Kelvin battle, and then the actual title card.
Right.
They just do a really good job kind of teasing the main theme song throughout that entire from the production companies, the production studios, to the teaser and into the title sequence. They do a really good job.
Yeah.
So, they also have, that is the main theme for all 3 movies. So it is one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Nice choice. Wow, I did not think of that one. That did not come up in my memory as one that I would have chosen.
Yeah, I think my second, if I had to pick like a movie one, would maybe First Contact.
Oh yeah.
First Contact also had like great music.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, those are my two.
Yeah.
Or one really.
I
just picked a bonus because I'm just trying to catch up to you. What about you?
Well, so I thought about what do I like to listen to as far as like if I'm in the mood for some Star Trek music, and so the theme music, the series, like a show theme music came to mind first, and we've been watching Deep Space Nine, but also I think Deep Space Nine is my favorite theme music.
Okay.
And they enhanced it around season 3 or season 4 with some like little bit of rock underbeat tones that even made it even better. So I think that for me is sort of the top one.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, there's a definite change from the first season theme music to like the 4th season music.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a little I forget exactly what they did, but they sort of enhanced the underbeat like the I'm not a musician, so I can't even speak to intelligently about what they did.
Oh, okay.
But it enhanced it. But I also have a favorite movie theme music, and that's from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, interesting.
That is by far my favorite piece of like overall like the whole film. Like I can listen to that soundtrack and relive the whole movie in my mind.
Wow.
And I think that's really great. Now, there's one other piece of music that just always comes to mind, too, when I think about great Star Trek music, and that is the theme music from the episode The Best of Both Worlds.
Yes. Yeah.
That is quintessential, like, top-notch Dennis McCarthy at his best, and just the Borg music. It just infused throughout that episode. Both episodes, it's just so great. So that's sort of my favorite episodic music.
It was a definite departure from what they usually did with the music. I think I read like, of course, a Memory Alpha article because that's where I get everything. But they were like, I remember it was like an interview with Dennis McCarthy, but he had to like kind of fight to kind of like incorporate vocals into like even synth vocals into the Best of Both Worlds soundtrack, because that's definitely not something that they ever did with the TNG score.
Right.
But he thought it was appropriate given like the epic scale of the actual episode, the two-parter rather. So
and it creates this like chorus of the voices that sort of emulate the Borg in a lot of ways.
No, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it, and it's definitely I definitely remember the music in that two-parter very well. But
and it's threatening. It's like it puts you on edge. It enhances the
there's just like this like sense of
scenes.
Doom, like the music kind of evokes very well.
Yeah,
so.
like Star Trek will never be the same after this, which is what it felt like after part 1.
Yeah. So,
great.
Those are great selections.
Yeah, I'm still reeling from the fact that you went with JJ. That's
my god.
Wow. All right. But yeah, so, well, this is a good point. Why don't you tell our listeners how they could share their favorite music with us? What's their favorite theme? I think that's a great question to kind of, the other ones are too, but we didn't think of it until now. But how can our listeners share their favorite
Yeah, so if you want to share some of your favorite Star Trek music with us, you can reach out to us on social media via Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride, or you can email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com.
Great. There we go. Well, let's move into our underappreciated episodes of Deep Space Nine. We're in season 6.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And you chose the Magnificent Ferengi.
Yeah.
You know, brother, I've been thinking. We can't rescue Mookie from a Dominion internment center. Not alone, anyway.
You're right. We'll need help.
We could put together a commando team. Gather the toughest mercenaries we can find. Nausicaans, Breen, Klingons.
Shh. We don't need Nausicaans, Breen, or Klingon.
Humans?
We'll just use Ferengi.
Then we'll all die!
No, we won't. Ferengi can be just as tough as Klingons.
They can?
Of course they can. They just need the opportunity, the training, and a couple of bars of latinum as incentive.
Coming out of my share, I suppose.
No. we'll split the reward with whoever joins us. All 20 bars of it.
But the Negus offered 50.
As far as anyone else is concerned, he said 20.
20 it is then.
Here's the quick and dirty from Netflix. Quark's mother has been captured by the Dominion, and Grand Nagus Zek enlists Quark to rescue her, offering a substantial reward if he succeeds. That's actually a pretty good summary of the episode.
Yeah,
so
that's not bad.
Johnson, what made you choose this episode as a something that doesn't stand out normally but is underappreciated?
Yeah, well, I think that in general, the Ferengi episodes are probably a little underappreciated. And I think that D9 is definitely made a concerted effort to flesh out the mythology of the Ferengi quite a bit more from what we saw in The Next Generation, where we kind of really got to see them as a race and a culture. And obviously, you had a Ferengi and two Ferengis, three Ferengis, they're major cast members, which I think was probably a surprise to most people when the cast of Deep Space Nine was announced. But yeah, usually you get one, maybe two of these Ferengi episodes per season. And I always think that they are usually very much underappreciated. Because even when I was doing my Deep Space Nine rewatch, I'm like, oh, Ferengi episode. But then I would watch it and be like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I would be either pleasantly surprised, or I'd be like, oh, we get maybe it's a lot of insight into Quark as a character. Quark is sometimes very much an underappreciated character as well. So I think that, this, it was just it's also interesting because the Ferengi here is so much of a departure from the Ferengi that we're introduced to in The Next Generation, because honestly, the Ferengi over time became very buffoonish and kind of, they're kind of a joke as a species. Versus when they were first introduced in The Next Generation, they were supposed to be this big threat, and there was
the new enemy from Next Generation,
and there was legit an episode where they took over the Enterprise D. Like Rat and Rascals. Remember?
Oh yeah. Right.
So it was just so it's really interesting how they've evolved from how they were characterized in The Next Generation versus now, where a major plot point is how, and why Quark is this should be a Ferengi job, is because the Ferengi are not known to be warriors or mercenaries by any means. They are kind of just, their primary weapon is economics, which is not how they were presented in The Next Generation. I mean, there was a little bit of that, definitely the whole idea of how they were driven by profit, but at the same time, they were definitely much more of a threat, and they weren't such pushovers.
Yeah, they were more like pirates that had really powerful ships that could match. I mean, a Ferengi Marauder could disable the Enterprise D. I mean, which is no small feat. I mean, they're both huge ships.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to me how they've changed how the Ferengi have been represented since The Next Generation to Deep Space Nine. But I do think that because they've made such the production staff made such a concerted, particularly R. Stephen Bear made such a concerted effort to kind of create a more three-dimensional species out of the Ferengi. Every time I see a Ferengi episode, I'm like, but then afterwards I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty good. And this is the one, this by all intents and purposes is a heist episode, and you literally have this band of Ferengi, this very band of Ferengi that's kind of just dysfunctional, kind of come together and somehow pull off this prisoner exchange, kind of.
Yeah.
More or less. And
it ends up being more of a heist than a prisoner exchange in the end.
Yeah. And there's so much screaming and running around. And I don't know, you just kind of get this I don't think all the characters like were kind of probably utilized as much as they could have. Not everyone kind of gets the time to shine because, again, you're talking about like a 45-minute episode, and now you have 6 characters and such. But I think overall, I think that they did a great job kind of giving them something to do, and then kind of like pulling off this, this whole thing, like, and somehow kind of outsmarting the Dominion and kind of getting Ishka back and everything. So yeah, so that's my that's my take on this episode. It was season 6 was very, very serious. There's a lot going on in season 6, but this is definitely, again, one of the kind of like lighthearted episodes where we just get to see one of our main characters in action in a way that we don't usually do.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the enjoyable parts of this was how they gathered these ragtag group of people. And it's funny because this heist came out in 1995? No,
96 maybe?
So way before any of the more modern like Ocean's 11 and all these other heist movies that have kind of happened. So this is like based on like old school, like the old versions of heist from the 60s and 70s. So it's not, or I can't even think of a heist movie in the 80s, but is Die Hard considered a heist movie? But I love the way that this group gets pulled together. Like they get Nog to kind of train them, which is kind of an interesting thing. He wants to be called Sir.
Yeah. That scene in the holodeck where they're like
shooting each other,
and then they shoot Ishka or something. That was great.
Yeah, it was just that and you didn't know it was a holodeck right away. You're like, shoot, this is all happening badly, fail, and I think I really
a lot of screaming.
There's a lot of screaming. Yes, yes, it fits right. Like it reminds me of you. Maybe you're a Ferengi in another life.
Maybe.
One of the more enjoyable things that I really liked was the conversation with Lek, and how they like, is this a secret channel? Of course I know how to do a secret channel. And he's like, convinces him, it's like, you can go up against the Dominion, and he like immediately says yes. And that's the end of the transmission. But I just thought like this Eliminator character is something that we really haven't seen in Ferengi culture before. So that's interesting. Obviously Brunt, played by the very talented Jeffrey Combs, is also just an annoying character. I mean, it's just levels of annoyance. The cousin who's a complete idiot and ends up shooting Kevin, their hostage. It's one mistake and one craziness after another, and I love them. I love like the other piece of this episode is the running around.
There's a lot of running and
running
screaming
down corridors. This is very like for Star Trek. This is very unusual. This is much more like Doctor Who-ish, like running down corridors. This is one of those things.
Yeah, maybe early Star Trek.
But all the different the way that this was shot was just so funny. Like Quark runs, and they show him running through the promenade, down the corridors. Finally catches Kevin, and then they show all the other rest.
And they
of
run
them.
Back. Oh yeah, and then everyone else runs, and then they run back.
And then they run back because the alarms start to go off. And it's just kind of this like crazy frenetic like scene where they just go through these running scenes which you've never seen before in Star Trek that I can think of. These corridor
TOS. There's a lot of running.
Is there?
Yeah. In the corridors. Yeah, Kark definitely ran down some corridors.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when the Red Alerts sing, like, you'd always see people running down the corridors. Yeah. But never following a character like this, I don't think. Or
not like this. This is a little slapstick.
Yeah, it's definitely very slapstick. So that's really enjoyable. I think that the difference the way that it all wraps up towards the end. I couldn't remember how this ended.
Oh, okay.
So this was really enjoyable to see that, and to see Lek get in his licks, so to speak, and threw a knife at and just instantly killed the Jem'Hadar. I thought that was pretty crazy. Like,
I know. Well, there were only two Jem'Hadar left.
There were only two Jem'Hadar left, yeah. And but one of them was knifed down by Lek, and the other one was shot.
It was shot, yeah.
So it's just like how that all, and the whole like making Kivan a robot almost.
Oh my gosh!
What, and like the other one, Yelgren.
Yeah.
What is wrong with, like, what's going on there? What is wrong with them? Like, they couldn't figure it out. And then I love how they leave Kivan, like, going, like, almost doing the robotic thing where you run into a wall and just keep on running it. It's just a funny episode. Definitely breaks up, you're right, it definitely breaks up the seriousness of this season of Deep Space Nine, for sure. And I think it plays off each character really well. You don't get a lot of Lek. What you do, I think, leaves me wanting more. I'd love to see Lek again. Brunt is Brunt. Ishka, Ishka Mugi is.
Yeah, she gets a little bit of screen time here, but it's not that much about her. It's more about,
definitely not. Yeah, and then Gala, the cousin, who's just the idiot of the group.
He had more to do in the last episode. I don't remember the name of it. The last episode we have with him after which he gets arrested.
Okay.
Gets thrown into prison. But
yeah, it's just it's great to. I mean, it was almost thoroughly a Ferengi episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really great and kind of unique.
I love the running and screaming.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. That was particularly enjoyable.
If that's your kind of humor, I don't know if that.
Yeah, no, it is
everybody, but
funny.
Yeah.
I think seeing, because I didn't know I couldn't remember how the episode played out. So you never seen Quark run faster.
Yeah, he's never running around.
To the ship. And smartly enough, he ran only because he knew he had already planned and they had already disabled the ship. Or he asked Nog to disable, not Nog, he asked Rom to disable the ship. And he was still unconvinced that would actually work.
Yeah.
So he's running the fastest you've ever seen him run down these corridors to get to the ship. And I thought that was just super, super funny and humorous. So,
but big shout out to, honestly, all the cast members who just had to deal with all this makeup. And,
right?
Everyone, the Vorta, the Jem'Hadar, the Ferengi. Oh my god, the Ferengi. So much makeup and running around all that makeup. I mean, probably wasn't easy.
Yeah, sure. No, not at all. I also think one little thing. I think that the fact that Kira goes to bat for Quark,
right,
is really interesting. She's never really liked Quark.
Yeah,
she's always kept him on her an arm's length away and always threatened his life.
Right.
Whenever he would touch her. I think it was really interesting that she got this prisoner for him.
Yeah.
In order to trade for.
So that was because, when the Dominion was occupying DS9, she was part of the resistance and she got caught, but then Quark broke her out.
Ah, okay.
That's what happened.
All right.
Yeah.
See another little piece of.
Yeah, there's a lot of throwbacks. And then Kevin was a throwback to an earlier episode. I think it was also season 6 or maybe season 5. I don't know. It was
probably season 6.
Yeah, it was when they were on a planet with Kevin and some Jem'Hadar, and they killed all the Jem'Hadar or something, and were able to capture Kevin. So. Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't feel like Kevin's a strong enough character that they would have brought him back from season 5 to season 6.
Well, sometimes they do that, but it's he's a kind of rando. He's just been a prisoner.
So is Yelgren.
Yes.
Just giving.
Yelgren was new. Yelgren was new, but just he was a rando.
Yeah, but mainly given to
Iggy Pop
to play as probably as a fan.
Basically. So no, I thought that this was a great episode. Again, giving us a little bit more insight into the Ferengi as a people, and then also giving our characters just something a little bit different to do. I thought it was great.
Yeah, no, excellent choice for underappreciation. I think this is not something that you would necessarily call a standout episode, but definitely is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anyone would really say
you'd have to really
Ferengi.
know. You'd have to really know the season to understand that this is sort of a break in the thing, and you'd also have to either like the Ferengi and want to watch it, versus it's just a Ferengi episode and kind of skip over it if you're trying to do a watch through, right? It might be something that you skip over because Little Green Men was however you may feel about the other Ferengi episodes. This I would definitely say that this falls into the more fun and enjoyable of the Ferengi episodes that we've seen.
It's because the Ferengi episodes don't really push the bigger plot forward. It's usually kind of like a sidebar in its own thing. When you visit Ferenginar, it's usually not because it's not part of the main arc. There's some drama on Ferenginar that Quark needs to go deal with or something.
Yep.
And people who are really into the serialized arc storytelling of DS9 may not be as into, because you probably can skip this and be okay.
Oh yeah, there's nothing here that I think you need to see to enjoy the arc.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
There we go. Anything else about the Magnificent Ferengi?
No, I think we covered it all.
Yeah. I think it's a great episode if you're looking for a one-off. I think with very few contextual pieces. I mean, obviously you have to know. Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel lost in this one.
No. There's a few throwbacks, but honestly, you don't need. It's nothing critical.
Yeah, nothing critical at all. So definitely take a watch of the Magnificent Ferengi if you're looking for a fun Deep Space Nine episode, or if you're looking for some different Ferengi to cosplay at Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that first scene where it was like. It was Quark and Rom crawling through the Jeffries tube, and they come out, and it's like Ben Sisko's office.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" It was just like that was also a funny moment.
Yeah, that was, and Sisko was really kind of like,
"You're all right." Okay. What? He was all right.
We took a wrong turn. Okay, I was like, okay, I'd be interested to know if he made a quick call to Odo and said, why is Quark in the Jeffries tubes?
Yeah.
By the way, this actually stuck out either on not on this episode, maybe on this episode, but now that you've mentioned it, I think on a couple of these rewatches or some of the other fewer episodes that I've seen or that I watched while I was doing this, they're called Jeffries tubes, but those technically are only Jeffries tubes on a Federation.
Right, they're not Jeffries tubes. I don't
but
know
they call them. But the crew calls them Jeffries tubes.
Oh, yeah.
When they're hunting the voles in that episode. In Visionary, right?
Mm-hmm.
They call them Jeffries tubes. And I'm like, that's not right. Jeffries tubes are on starships, on Federation Starfleet ships.
Correct.
Not on.
There's just maintenance tubes.
Essentially. Yeah, I think I understand. It's sort of like using the word Xerox or Zoom.
It's like a catch-all.
It's sort of a let's Zoom
or Google.
Yeah, or Google something. Yeah. So but it stood out to me. I was like. These aren't Jeffries tubes. Let's, so it's sort of a interesting, do you think that on Deep Space Nine they have Jeffries tubes? I would say the answer would be no, because
technically
no. They have maintenance tunnels and whatnot. They wouldn't be called Jeffries tubes. So that stuck out to me. Well, very great. All right.
Cool. All right, so Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor?
I would love to talk about Fansets. I always do. Fansets is our sponsor for Deep Space Pride and also the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. and they have a ton of pins. I want to say they're approaching 200 or more Star Trek pins, but there are other great ones in their series. They've done Scooby-Doo and Ultraman and Harry Potter, if you're a fan of that. But if you're a pin collector, right? But having to do with this, there are only 3 Ferengi pins in their collection right now.
Sadly,
yes.
they're underappreciated.
Fansets might underappreciate the Ferengi, but also they may not be big sellers. Maybe overall Ferengi are underappreciated. But so they do have a Lieutenant Nog, which I think is fairly new, micro pin, and then they do have a Quark one, which is definitely from their earlier line, where this Quark is very orange. Nog is more like neutral tones.
Okay.
But I would say that the Quark one is a little bit more caricature, but it's still a good micro pin. And then they also have, which we talked about, the Decora class Ferengi Marauder for their Starship pins, their microfleet pins. So if you go to Fansets and check out and put $30 or more in your cart, you will get free shipping. And if you use the code DS Pride, all caps, during checkout.
Are you having trouble with your words?
I'm having trouble with my words.
It's like how I couldn't remember the term Ferengi earlier. I was like, what are they called?
Or back a little while ago, I couldn't remember the word sponsor. So yes, it's been a long day, but check out if you. Man, we're totally off track here. It's time for a vacation, I think.
Oh yeah.
If you put more than $30, you get free shipping. If you use DS Pride, you get 10% off. Definitely go and support Fansets. They are our sponsor, and we thank Fansets for being the exclusive sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets.
All right. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. We've already told you how to contact us.
Yes.
So please do, if you have any thoughts on Ferengi or your favorite theme music from Star Trek, let us know. And we'll be back here next week talking about our Season 7 episode, which we have yet to determine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's over.
But it'll be our last in our underappreciated episodes as we kind of go into August and new Trek comes along. So super excited about that. But definitely join us again next week and we'll talk about Season 7.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great week. Take care, everyone.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.